This is the daily writing exercise recorded, day 53, titled The Understanding Box. A misunderstood man is hard to follow. His plight might be reasonable, but the inability of the listener to do anything practical about it tends to overshadow the whole affair. People don't mind extending a helping hand, though apprehension is displayed when it is unclear where the hand is extended into. Much like most people tend to be wary of descending into a dark cellar without a source of light. The misunderstood man endured a similar problem. His name for this purpose of understanding is Ernest Kramer. He is 36 years old and now walks the streets of his native city with a cardboard box under his arms. In this box are all his belongings that used to decorate the desk he worked at. A box that about 2 corners will make a left turn into the outer edges of the Twilight Zone. "Say, mister," Ernest called out to the man leaving Clancy's bar. "Could you keep the door open?" The man ignored Ernest and walked right past him. "Well, thanks, mister," Ernest murmured to himself. "What does it take for one fella to show another fella a bit of kindness around here? I mean, honestly." He placed his box upon his raised knee and opened the heavy door to the bar with his free hand. The bar was moderately filled with all sorts of customers who had come on this Wednesday morning to fill in the comfortable seats and to drink its soothing alcohol and to forget all the troubles in the world and keep them there, far away from the walls of Clancy's bar. Ernest took up his usual spot at the bar. He was not a frequent customer, but he came there enough to know the barman's name to be Harry Stilts. He also knew Harry Stilts was Clancy's brother, after whom the bar was named by their father. He also knew of Eliza, Harry and Clancy's sister, and had struck up enough conversations with her to know that he fancied her, and if he were a better and more understood man, he would surely try and make an honest woman out of her. But other than that, Ernest didn't really frequent the establishment that much. Ernest put his box under the bar and slid himself onto the bar stool at the same time. "Going away?" Harry jokingly asked him as he picked up a glass. "You don't know the half of it," Ernest lamented. "Can you believe that they let me go?" Harry tilted his head to the side. "It's one hell of a thing." "I just can't believe they let me go," Ernest repeated, a tad more depressed. Harry finished cleaning the glass and put it down in front of Ernest. He made a swift turn and grabbed one of the many bottles whose liquid he skillfully poured into the glass. Ernest watched carefully as the liquid flowed into it and waited for Harry to finish. "If only they understood me better," he sighed. He pulled the glass towards him and wrapped his finger around it. "If only they understood what I meant. Oh, it's hopeless. It's all hopeless, I tell you." "Oh, cheer up," Harry said, putting the bottle away. "Things will look up soon. You'll get a new job in no time. You'll see." Yeah, Ernest said, waving the words away. He took a gentle sip from his glass and then looked up and saw that Harry had disappeared to the other end of the bar, where he was now pouring another drink and conducting his usual small talk with the next customer. Ernest thought of calling out to him, but settled for the glass and its liquid as his only company. An hour or so went by, though Ernest wasn't so sure it had. He was still very much convinced only 5 or 10 minutes or so had passed since he had entered the bar. He still thought so, even when he stood outside with the box underneath his arms and saw it was dark, and the moon shined brightly. Ernest was not a great drinker, and so had not done now. He was still enough sound of spirit and mind to know his way home and to know how to get there. One last look at the box underneath his arms, and Ernest figured he better get rid of it. It was useless after all, and no one understood him and it anyway. So Ernest walked up the street towards the nearest garbage can and gently let the box slip from his hands and into it. The box landed softly into the garbage can and gave off a nice-sounding thud. It pleased Ernest greatly. "I wish people understood me," he whispered. The box shook gently, but Ernest did not notice it and went on further up ahead the street to Hello Cab. He did not notice it, but would soon come to know that from that moment on, Ernest would always be believed, and Ernest would always be understood. No more has been written or recorded. Thank you for listening, and good night.